first trade of the season. We had a lot of trades this year. First trade of the NBA season, Eric Bledsoe finally gets moved from Phoenix. And what was the first rumor to the Milwaukee Bucks for Greg Monroe, protected first-round pick, and a protected second-round pick. Now, this is not final. Like, is this finalized for sure?
Last I checked, they had agreed upon it. So yes.
It's just an agreed.
Paperwork, I think, is...
Commissioner hasn't signed off on it yet.
Let me check...
But anyways,
Woj.
So that's Eric Bledsoe moving to the Bucks to go alongside Antetokounmpo in the backcourt for Greg Monroe and protected first and second round picks getting sent back to Phoenix. It was agreed upon by the teams. I don't know if the commissioner has signed off on it yet.
I do have the info on it. So the trade's been agreed upon. What you said, the Suns get the protected second and the protected first.
And heavily protected first and second.
So first round pick protection for 2018. The Suns would get the Bucks pick between 11 and 16.
Which is a big deal. I don't think they'd fall below that.
So you'll probably won't get it until 2020, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Which is unfortunate because...
that sophomore in high school is looking good right now.
Dude, Kyrie Walker, he's going to go to ASU, dude. We're going to get Kyrie Walker. All right.
Well, only if it falls between 8 and 30 in 2020. So it's not even unprotected until 2021. The second round pick is unprotected in 2019, but you'll most likely get it in 2018.
So the Bledsoe had to be moved, and we didn't really have any leverage here, trade leverage for Bledsoe at all. And I think with all those things into account, I think we got a pretty good deal here. I would have liked the first round pick to be a lot less protected than this, but
I understand having to move him.
We had to move him just because it wasn't working out, and his trade value was only going to go down. And we probably should have done a trade in the off season for him, and we've been looking to do a trade for him for a long time. But we had to take what we're going to get, and we're going to get Greg Monroe's expiring contract, which is good for us since we can sign free agents this off season. And
who's coming to Phoenix though? Anybody?
You never know. I mean, if we have money, if we have money, people will come.
That's what Bulls fans say every 4 years, and it never happens. And we're actually a good market.
Phoenix is a good market. What are you talking about?
Okay, we're like one of the best markets. Yeah. We're like top 4.
But so Eric Bledsoe, what I want to talk about because you already know my perspective. I think Greg Monroe is going to be good for us.
He might not ever play for you. As of the latest news, the Suns are looking to trade Monroe, but if they can't trade him, they'll buy him out.
Nice.
So we
were really just looking for the money.
Yeah.
And we really that just goes to show how desperate we were to just get rid of him.
I think the Suns are going to... My guess is to hang on to him until February, and then when a team knows it's out of it, they're going to trade for an expiring contract. And maybe you guys can get like a low
we have
pick
Tyson already
or
to
a buy,
explain.
Yeah, or a buy low contract or a buy low player or something.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of a player that... Like someone like Jahlil Okafor. I'm not saying him, but like a young guy who has no value, but it's like a risk versus reward.
Yeah, so... I mean, I'm fine with that too. Like, Greg Monroe's, even if I thought he was going to play, I already knew he was going to be expiring contract. We're going to make any noise this year. So, it would have been nice to see him play with the Suns just as like another veteran presence.
Mm-hmm. I like Greg Monroe.
I do too. I think he's really good. But
my guess would be he stays till February. But they are looking to trade him or buy him out.
It'd be nice if we got a trade from someone to get back some younger pieces or something. I don't know. There's not much trade value for Greg Monroe in today's NBA, I don't think. But so let's talk about what from the other perspective for the Milwaukee Bucks, because that's what this really means the most about is the Milwaukee Bucks, because they've been struggling of late. I mean, they started off really, really great. Antetokounmpo has stayed in that same kind of MVP mode, but the team itself, everything around them, is kind of not. I think they won the first 4. And then they've lost 5 or 4 straight.
Yeah, they are now 4-6 and lost 4 in a row.
Yeah. So 4-6, they just lost to Cleveland last night. And Cleveland, we already know Cleveland's problems. And Giannis scored 40 points last night, and they still lost.
Yeah, they need some more consistency from the point guard position. I feel. I
don't think that's Bledsoe though. That's the thing. It's like
I just don't. I don't think Malcolm Brogdon is going to get it done for you. I think he's a much better off the bench player. Remember how Mona Ellis was? Like he could get you a bucket, but he also could run an offense if he was asked to. I mean, that was more so in Golden State than Dallas or Indiana. But I mean, he was there. I mean, he was there for it. He's not. When they played
the problem with Bledsoe, and Bledsoe's a good player. And, he had his really, really good years in Phoenix and borderline all-star, but it just doesn't make any sense for me for Bledsoe to be on that team just because, Antetokounmpo is going to have the ball in his hands most of the time. Bledsoe will be throwing the ball into him in the post sometimes, but if you're just having Bledsoe as your spot-up 3 corner guy, and then maybe sometimes taking people off the dribble, Bledsoe is going to be in the same spot he was in Phoenix and not happy. And, yeah, he'll play defense, but if he's not happy...
But he's going to be winning now.
Is he? They're 4-6.
It's 10 games in the year. We have 72 games left.
The Suns are 4-7.
Well,
they're basically the same thing without Eric Bledsoe.
I think... I'm not too worried about the Bucks. I'm really not.
It just doesn't make any sense for me because Brogdon's a much better three-point shooter. Dellavedova's a much better three-point shooter. Bledsoe, while he can hit threes, is not a great three-point shooter. And probably not even a good three-point shooter. He's an average three-point shooter. And definitely not catch-and-shoot guy.
No, he's not.
And a lot of times in Phoenix, I know you think that I don't like Bledsoe for some reason. He's a really, really good player. But sometimes in Phoenix, he would take the ball... He'd catch it he'd catch it in the corner, wait for the guy to close out, and sit there and triple threat, not do anything, kind of look up. All right, I'm taking the shot now, and now the shot clock's down to 5 seconds, and clank it. And I just that doesn't, especially for a team like Milwaukee who's wanting to be more go. He just slows down the offense, and it just doesn't seem like.
But what if they need something like that?
Something like what? Taking 10 seconds off the clock?
No, I'm not saying to that extent, but something a little more...
I mean, he adds an element of, he can go get himself a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brogdon could do that.
But Brogdon can... that's what I'm saying, though. Brogdon is... I really can't say they have much more upside, because Brogdon is actually not that much younger than Bledsoe. Bledsoe's 27, Brogdon is 24.
Yeah, Brogdon was, say, 4 years.
Yes, 4-year college player. So, but... Brogdon is also a much better off-the-ball guy, too. And about the same defensively.
Which is why I think he'd be great on the bench.
I know, but he's also about the same defensively. So does this really improve your team? I think, if anything, it hurts, the continuity that they have.
Well, you're going to be able to get now... You have Jabari Parker coming back. Now, we all have to debate whether that's... I still think
that's the piece that they need to move. They need to move to Jabari Parker.
Yeah, we haven't, I know, in the limited time with him and Giannis, it didn't really work, but we haven't, gotten I don't think we've gotten a big enough sample size.
I know, but think if they got, they just need to build around Giannis. They don't need more people that are ball dominant. They need more people that are, really, really good off the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that.
So, Jabari Parker, while he's not a super ball dominant guy, and he's really, really good slasher, and a pretty good corner three-point shooter.
They need a 3-and-D guys.
Yeah, they need a 3-and-D, Chris Middleton's a 3-and-D guy. Malcolm Brogdon's a 3-and-D guy. They need more of those. And, more depth at those.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Thonmaker, kind of...
The only thing this helps with is Dellavedova's not going to be playing, And that's probably good for them, So now they have, 2 good defenders. Dellavedova... While he's a good three-point shooter, he's not the best defender.
He tries, though.
He does try.
So
he tries his heart out, but there's this limit of how much you can try. But, that adds a little bit of extra defense from them. Maybe, and they've been really, really bad defensively this year. One of the worst teams in the NBA, which is kind of shocking for a team with so much length. And, we've always thought they would be really, really great defensively.
Yeah,
and they've just been kind of
Especially with... Jason Kidd, you feel like you get the...
You feel like he'd preach defense, and he went and got those, like, that team went and got those long guys just to be a defensive team.
Right.
To be a disruptive team. And you can see it at times.
Tony Snell, I forgot about him, too.
Yeah.
He's 3-and-D.
Yeah, you can see it at times where they're really, 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 really disruptive. But sometimes they just get lazy. And it's a young team, too, so...
You're going to run into these spurts. Their next game's against San Antonio.
The problem is they have Jason Terry, but they need more of those, like, veteran presences to just, like, lock them, like, really, really lock them in. And to be like, okay, we need to really lock in here and play defense.
Which is why I'm surprised they didn't get Tyson Chandler.
I know, like, I would have been fine with, like, sending Tyson Chandler in the deal just to free up money. Well,
I know as a Suns fan you would, but I'm thinking, like, as a Bucks fan perspective.
Yeah,
it would have made sense.
That would make sense. It's like, I mean, I guess for them it doesn't really help them. He probably would never really play that much because they have big guys already.
But do you really need him to play? I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. He'd be a locker room guy.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine with that, too.
With unloading Greg Monroe, he probably would get some time, too.
A little bit. I mean, it depends on when Jabari gets back. Which they still have to... when that happens, they still have to figure out what their plan is.
I think they're a Jabari Parker trade away from being, like, a really, really good team. But they need to show me what this whole Bledsoe thing is going to work, how it's going to work. Because Bledsoe's always been, I want the ball, I want the ball, I'm not going to play off the ball. You know, and that, like, he's not the best player on the team. He can't do that. He's probably not even, like, I would say Chris Middleton's probably better than him.
Jabari
Parker's probably better than him. No, Chris Middleton's probably better than Bledsoe, too.
Oh, better than Bledsoe.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So, like, Bledsoe needs to be, like, you know, the third option, and how is that going to work for him? And we already see that he can kind of blow his top.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just saying.
Maybe a change of scenery will do it.
Maybe. I mean, I'm hoping for him.
If they could swing a trade for Anthony Davis.
I know. That
would be...
Jabari, Bledsoe for Davis.
It'd be more than that.
I know, but that'd be the basis of the trade.
Yeah, or it'd probably be Jabari and Brogdon because he's younger. That'd be my guess. Jabari, Brogdon, and a pick.
Bledsoe's better. I mean, I think they'd take Bledsoe.
One of those two.
Yeah.
Brogdon or Bledsoe, Jabari, and then Thonmaker probably.
And probably, they already gave it on their first, but...
Well, I would say an unprotected first this year. If you can.
That'd be a
trade.
I would say New Orleans take that in a heartbeat.
You have to.
I mean, because we weren't supposed to be. I mean, we weren't planning on talking about this, but I want to talk about how great Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins have been, and they're still not winning like a great amount of games. They're 500 right now.
They're 6-5.
They're 6-5.
They barely escaped the Bulls.
Yeah.
Like by the skin of their teeth, they escaped the Bulls.
They're 6-5, and these guys are having career years so far. Cousins is averaging almost 30, 13, and 6. And Davis is averaging almost 30, 12, and 2 blocks.
28, 13, 2, 1, and 2 for Davis.
Yep.
And 28, 13, 6, 1, and 2 for Cousins.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're still not, like, running away.
Because their team is terrible.
Yeah, it's them two or bust.
I wonder what's going to happen when they get Rondo back.
But does that make you... I think that makes them worse.
That's what I'm saying. I agree.
Because then, like... Rondo can't shoot a lick.
You're taking the ball out of their hands.
Yeah, Rondo can't shoot a lick either. And Cousins has been like that point guard kind of player where he actually takes the ball up full court and then sits there on the 3-point line and either feeds it into Davis or finds a cutter, takes a three. He plays pick and roll. Like, I watched him and Davis play pick and roll and one of it's just like DeMarcus Cousins is the ball handler and the Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins pick and roll. This looks freaking amazing.
It's good. I mean, it totally works.
But it works, but it's just like that team is just...
Oh, I know. I'm saying, but they work.
Yeah, they those two work. It's just...
This is what they got to do. Flaunt that as much as you can and deal them both at the deadline before Cousins leaves for nothing and Davis leaves you for nothing in 2 years or a year and a half, whatever it is.
Yeah. Like I said, like Cousins... the Cousins trade has always been in play for me, and... A lot of people don't like it, but Anthony Davis should be in play too.
He should be. I mean, you and I both agree.
You could get a playoff team for next year if you just traded both those players with all the things you get back, and you'd probably be if not as young, maybe even younger, and you'd be set.
I mean, just think of the...
You'd have a more well-rounded team.
Think of the young pieces you could get from, like, Denver or Phoenix or... I'm trying to think here. Dallas has a couple